they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah.
Welcome to Graybo's Giblets, part of the NoOffseason.com Sports Card Network. I'm your host, Gray Burnett, and I'm here with Denny One Time and Fitz. We are going to be talking about the college football championships this weekend and also the Final Four. Who are they going to be rolling into the national championship in January? So, gentlemen, how are we doing this week?
Well, it's Thursday. We're doing it a day early because on Friday I'm getting a tooth extracted. So on Friday afternoon, I'm going to have a mouthful of gauze, a pile of hydrocodone jammed into my system, and I'm going to be a mush pile for 2 days. So I get to watch Liberty and Mexico State Friday night, and then I get to watch football all day Saturday. And I can't get up and do anything. So your sister, my wife, cannot make me do anything. I get to watch all the games Saturday.
I love that you said New Mexico State is the game you're watching over the Oregon-Washington game.
Oh, yeah, that one's yeah. Michael Penix.
Friday night is New Mexico State Liberty.
Diego Pavia will be on the main screen, and Bo Nix and Michael Penix will be on the screen to the left.
I already love that number so much. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about all the games. We're going to break it down for you guys and some little giblets here and there. Last weekend, though, we had some epic games. Alabama, Auburn, absolute epic.
Oh, Lord.
A dude cashed out a ticket on the last time out. Fitz was telling me this. Had Auburn money line. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. And the last time out, before the last play of the game, cashed out $60K.
Yeah.
He would have lost it all.
We don't know what he forego, how much money he forewent.
No, I can't. I don't know.
Let's guess. I bet it was like 65, 66.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's very low percentage
for
them to win that game.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I was watching it. I'm sure y'all were too. Unbelievable.
He also said it was a $10,000 ticket.
He bet $10,000 money line?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't his only wager of the weekend.
No. Scrounged up all of his money for that.
I mean, that game stole the show, but you also had Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan owns day, 30 in a row for the Wolverines. They're looking good. Ohio State, we'll talk about them, not being able to play in a championship game. One loss to maybe the number one team in the country. Is there a way? Is there a path for the Buckeyes? So we will talk about that first. How about our own predictions? And this is something like after all the games are played on Friday and Saturday, who are the four that are going to be left standing? Denny, who are going to be your four that are left standing? In the right order, 1, 2, 3, 4, because that does matter who's playing who.
Georgia beats Alabama and gets the 1 seed. Michigan beats Iowa 17-0 and gets the 2 seed. Oregon wins in overtime.
Ooh.
A thriller to get the 3 seed. Texas handles Oklahoma State by 2 touchdowns, right around the spread probably, to get the 4. Florida State loses by a field goal. And Ohio State's crying in the Fruit Loops.
I like it. And that's very close to mine. I mean, that game Friday night, Washington, Oregon, it's like a playing game. It's awesome. Beautiful. It's
awesome.
Beautiful.
It is.
Win or go home.
And there's a chance that if Oregon wins, they actually don't get in.
Ooh, I want to hear that.
Who, Florida State gets in instead of them, you mean?
Yeah, Florida State wins.
And Texas.
So you're saying 0 pack?
Yeah, there's a chance.
Teams.
If Washington wins, they're definitely
Would you put in?
I wouldn't do
If I
that.
give you this,
I would.
this is your only choice, though. Or 1 loss Oregon or undefeated Florida State.
Oh, Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I think I agree, but it sucks.
Like, I'm not going to hate whatever happens. Like, I feel like, if you leave Florida State out and they're undefeated, okay.
1 loss Texas, undefeated Florida State. Undefeated in a power conference when 4 teams get in just seems like a robbery to me. Does it bother you?
I mean, I just don't think Florida State, I know it sucks, but lost their quarterback. I know that's hard because they play, the other guys are going to be like, well, we're still playing. But they're not the better team now. But they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I can see. Like, I won't be mad if Florida State gets in. I won't be mad if like a Texas team gets in. Well,
Yeah,
won't be mad.
That's a better question. One loss Texas or undefeated Florida State? Who do you
Florida
put
State.
Yeah, Florida State. For me, I'm on the same boat. I think Georgia will beat Bama. The NCAA and the committee does not want a Bama winning.
Yeah,
That's going to be a huge headache.
chaos.
Michigan beats Iowa. I do think Oregon takes Washington, even though I had Washington at the beginning of the year to get in. I do think FSU loses to Louisville, and Texas sneaks into that 4 seed. So I think I'm with Duke here. Fitz, I know you're different.
I'm different.
What's different?
Just at the end, Florida State does not get left out. And they finish 4th.
They beat Louisville. They're undefeated. They're in.
Yeah.
I think I'm rooting for them to lose, so I just feel better about everything.
I'm rooting for them to win. I'm rooting for Alabama to also win. I want the chaos.
You want chaos?
Yeah, for sure. Because especially if Oregon wins, Texas wins big, and then you have to decide, okay, Michigan's 1. Let's say Washington wins or Oregon wins. They're 2. Then you got Alabama 3. And then you cannot leave out Georgia because they have 1 loss in the last 3 years in the last game of the year to another
back-to-back natty champ
playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
So then you leave out Florida. That's the only scenario where I see Florida State doesn't get in is if Bama wins.
Yeah. So that got me to my next question. You brought it up. Bama wins. Michigan wins. Pac-12 winner. Florida State wins. Texas wins. Ohio State only 1 loss. Georgia only 1 loss.
So this is
What happened?
That
is absolute nuts.
where Florida State. This is where Oregon could get left out. Is
Okay.
if Bama wins, Michigan wins. So Bama and Georgia, I think, are in. Michigan's in. Oregon's left out. Florida State's put in. Someone was talking about how like it's a subjective thing because of college and how they do rankings and stuff. But like the NFL, if Brock Purdy were to get hurt, in the NFC like he did last year, right? And if they won that game, they're not gonna say, "Well, you're not.
You can't play in the Super Bowl
because your quarterbacks, you're not good as anymore." So,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's different because they don't do rankings and it's just based on record.
Yeah.
But
That's because
it's
the
one way to
schedules
think
are
of it.
more, power. The strength of schedule is more equal in the NFL.
So yeah, I had if that happened, I still had Georgia in, but Michigan we get the 1. Pac-12 winner, I had Oregon. We get the 2. Georgia is bumped to 3 because they don't want Michigan playing Georgia 1 and 4. That would suck for Michigan. And then Bama gets the 4.
That'd be awesome.
Whew.
That'd be so much more fun going into Sunday.
And then Florida State gets left out.
Yeah, the selection
Florida
shows
State
at
gets left
noon on Sunday. That would be must see.
I'll probably have half a hydrocodone left for Sunday.
And then Fitz really seems to have this down. Anyway, Ohio State gets in.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Florida State, Oregon, Bama, Texas all lose.
hey, chaos.
Yeah,
It can all happen.
Which like that. I mean,
one
Texas
or
is-
2 of the chaotic things will happen this weekend. You just don't know which ones.
Right.
1 or 2.
So they need Georgia. So it'd be Georgia, Michigan, Washington,
Yeah.
and Ohio State because Oklahoma State wins. All right, Bama already lost to Georgia. Oregon lost to Washington. I've seen crazier things, like the 16 seed beating a 1.
That's why they play the game.
All right. So let's go to the board. We are going to break down every championship game by the spread here in a second, like rapid fire. But we want to go to the board and 2 plays this week instead of 3. So we want to narrow it down to our favorite 2. To recap, Denny, on the year, you're 16-17 fighting back.
I'm fighting for my life.
So that 500. Missouri helped you out a lot. San Diego State, great call, plus 5.5. But Central Michigan just couldn't get it done. Plus 10 with the L. What are your 2 favorite plays championship week?
These might be the only 2 plays I actually make this weekend. UNLV, been riding them. Going to keep riding them.
Homer.
I'll just watch this offensive coordinator. Marion will get a big job somewhere after this. Incredible year. Great season for the running Rebs. Give me Troy, -6 over Appy State. That one, I think, is free money as well. I mean, I think, obviously, App State's a great team, great season, but those are the 2 plays I'm making this weekend. Go figure. It's mid-majors. How about that?
Very nice. Very nice. 2 games no one will be watching. All right, Fitz, except the gamblers. Fitz also 16-7, got a good Ball State win, +5.5. Oregon smashed, good win. Nebraska was in it. The funniest game I've ever watched, because I had Nebraska as well. Iowa, Nebraska. Oh my God, what a game! No one wanted to win that game, but Iowa turns out to win, and now they get to meet Michigan in the Big Ten championship, and they're like 25-point dogs. Fitz, who do we like? And you want to add on to that?
I did text the counselor over the weekend for Cover 5, and I brought up I picked Nebraska in that, and he told me that he watched every single play of that game.
It's like watching corn growth.
I watched most of it.
Cry for help.
It was wild.
By the way, congrats.
Thank you.
We
haven't talked. I was gonna get there.
Oh, you are?
Well, I didn't know if he was, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
force that in there.
What? And then Spoonie, where'd you finish in Spoonie?
I actually am in first place in Spoonie, but we had to pick this week, and then
Duke doesn't know that either.
We have 25 bowls to pick, so I basically have 3.5 more weeks, and I'm only a game up. So.
Oh, he didn't end it in the regular season.
No,
So
nothing bad could happen.
I'll help you with the bowls. Yeah. I'll help you all the mid-major bowls. But congrats on a great college football season. You're first in Spoonie and you win Cover 5. That's huge.
Yeah, who invited them?
Well, I think again it's because of this pod. You get to hear me and you talk every week, right?
It was honestly,
yeah, congratulations. I came in third, so no money.
Still a good year.
No money. Yeah, Fitz, excellent job.
Years of
you also
about this
years and years. Me and Duke playing this. Fitz broke the record in 1 year. I think it was most points.
It's also his first year doing this podcast.
Yeah.
No, I already told you. All glory to giblets.
All glory to giblets. All right, Fitz, keep it rolling.
Yeah,
keep it rolling.
I'm going to go on the other side of this.
How dare you?
Because I can't believe that UNLV's in this game. San Jose State beat them last week. Did you see this? How they determined the Mountain West? They all have the same record, all three of them, and they left out San Jose. They basically brought in like the BCS for it.
Was it like
That's a weird
was it like Friday Night Lights coin toss where they all meet at the diner and they flip the coin?
Yes. So I think that you're saying. I mean, I guess for you, it's again those are your two children, but I'm gonna go with your redhead stepchild in Boise State to
Blue hair
to lay the 2.5.
I haven't. I mean, I should tell you, their cheeks.
This is a game where they got rid of their coach. The players hated him, allegedly. So the morale is at an all-time high, and I think they're going to play for this interim. So
they're fired coach, and they're in the conference championship. Think about that.
And they had a guy. I was reading they had a guy quit the team, and they fired the coach, and then he was like, "Can I actually come back?"
That's amazing. All right, so we got a little rivalry here.
Head to head there. And then second pick, it's got to go with the total. So I'm going to go over the Big 12 championship. Texas, Oklahoma State over 55.
Texas has been putting up numbies.
Oh,
Yeah, and they need to, right? They style points matter.
Yep. That's why I like Texas this week. Need to put up a big number, try to maybe sneak in.
If you don't like that total, go with Texas's team over. Yep.
I like it. All right, so for me, 19-13 on the year. Penn State won 40-0 over Michigan State, easy cover. New Mexico, give props to y'all a little bit on that, +6 W. My favorite pick, Bama, did not cover. They didn't cover the live bet either. They had to pick 6, and I thought I covered that -5.5 that Fitz handed out. And he stepped out of bounds. I turned it off. I was like, heck yeah, I turned it off. And then someone texted me and was like, why they only win by whatever? And I was like, what? And then he stepped out of bounds. Unbelievable. I'm going with SMU +3.5. They are an absolute wagon. I missed the 4.5, so they've moved. But love the +3.5. They have put up huge numbers. Their offense is awesome. So I'm going SMU +3.5. And then, Denny, what did your dad always say?
Dance with the one who brung you.
So I'm going Georgia -5.5. They've been making me money. They play Bama. I think it's easy one here. I think Georgia wins by 10. So SMU +3.5. Georgia -5.5. We're moving on. I almost forgot. Remember, you can go on Whatnot. Graybo's fully going on Whatnot. next week, all week. Get $15 by joining through whatnot.sportscardstrategy.com. You can also get 10% off any purchase at graybos.co by using the promo code Strategy2023.
Gray, is that for singles, wax, merch, anything?
For everything.
Wow.
Everything.
What a deal.
That's a deal, man.
That's a huge deal. Huge deal. All right, so we are done with our upset of the week, our super dogs. We went 2-1 last week. NC State, great pick, Fitz. Plus 2.5 wins outright, pretty big too. Ball State covers for me. TCU unfortunately did not cover for Duke. They gave up 69 to Oklahoma.
Don't poke the bear.
I
Don't call them frauds.
I got to apologize to Dylan Gabriel and the crew. I called him fraudulent. My God.
You got to stop doing that.
We stopped doing that.
He must have heard me.
Because we did that to West Virginia too.
Yeah.
I mean, to Oklahoma playing against West Virginia. So, Fitz, congratulations. The winner of that as well, 103 points.
Another one.
I'm
Denny.
sick of this.
I know, this is ridiculous. Denny, 77, and myself, 42.5. So we all finished, decent number, but Fitz blew us out. And then in cover 3, we have to award a winner as well. You're not going to like this, Denny, either. Fitz, plus 219 in cover 3.
Another one.
With a week with Oregon, his only win, but, A&M only minus a half point, Florida only minus 2.5, so he was able to stay at the top.
That's a serious question for you. So you won cover 3 with us. You won the underdog upset of the week. You won
Cover 5.
cover 5. You might
About to win Spoonie.
But I have a serious question for you. Betting college football this year, did you win or lose money? Be honest.
I wish. We should do this. We should be like transparent. Like the Action Network can have to put your units in there, because if you saw
His live
my
betting,
live betting,
yeah,
Worth go up or down.
This will cover a lot of losses. Let's just put it that way.
Unbelievable.
I love it. I was plus 116.5 in second, and then so me and Denny just switched spots in this one. Denny plus 132.5.
Game first.
Missouri looked good.
Yeah, that was it for me last week.
I had Penn State, but not enough to catch Fitz. Let's just talk about his NFL picks, okay? All right, so let's get to the conference championship picks. We're going to do it by spread. We're also going to do it by the time they come on. So we'll do Friday games first, then Saturday noon games all the way up to the nightcap. So the first one we have, Conference USA, New Mexico State versus number 24, Liberty, undefeated Liberty. Liberty is minus 11.5. This is Friday night at 7 p.m. Denny, who you rolling with?
Diego. Give me Pavia in the points, 11.5. He's a difference maker. He's Keith Harvey if he lived in the Southwest.
Fitz, who you rolling with?
Yeah, give me the Lobos.
They're the Aggies.
It's in Liberty.
Yeah,
New Mexico State's Aggies. New Mexico's Lobos. I know what you meant too. New Mexico State Aggies. Give me the Aggies.
Good thing I have editing control on this podcast.
Make Gray say Aggies. Yeah. Or Lobos.
Oh Lord. I'm also riding with y'all. This is a lock it in. Plus 11.5 New Mexico State.
Too much pride.
Yeah, too many points. Liberty probably wins, but too many points there. Pac-12 championship. We have the Oregon Ducks. They're number 5 in the nation versus number 3 Washington. This game is going to be awesome. Washington is getting 9.5. Friday night, 8 p.m. That might be too much. Washington, they've been winning, but sneaking it out. Barely getting by Washington State and getting barely by Oregon State. Oregon's been crushing people. Crushed Oregon State last week. So we'll see with the rematch. Who we taking, Denny?
I like Oregon to win, but I just think it's too many points. I just feel like Penix will keep it close somehow, some way. It'll be down to the wire. So give me Washington the points.
I agree. Give me the Cougars.
I see what you did there.
What you did there.
No, I think that's way too many points. I don't understand. It's actually making me question. I kind of want to go against.
Like it stinks.
Yeah. Like I want to go with the Ducks here. So But no, I got to roll with Washington. They've been pretty good to me, and Penix will keep it close. It'll be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, 2 Heisman hopefuls. I think Oregon gets their revenge and covers the 9.5. I'm taking Oregon minus 9.5, win by 2 touchdowns. That's who I'm taking. Bo Nix. My son's name is Bo. Bo about to win the Heisman. Go Ducks. I'm back, baby. All right, let's move on to Saturday at noon. The Big 12 championship, number 18 Oklahoma State versus number 7 Texas. Texas, when we locked this in, was minus 14.5. I do believe they have moved to 15, but it's minus 14.5. They need to put it on Oklahoma State to make a point to the committee, because right now, Ohio State is ranked ahead of them. So obviously need to win, and they need to win pretty handily against Oklahoma State, who is ranked. I think if they just win, beating another ranked team in the championship, they pass Ohio State, in my opinion. But Texas doesn't know that. So I think Texas probably is going to pour it on. I'm taking Texas minus 14.5. You fighting me, Denny?
Well, I'm rooting for that outcome. Just give 14 and a hook. I think I'm taking the points. It's too many. The English are too many.
Fitz, you agreeing with Denny or you agreeing with me?
Yeah, I'm going to side with Denny here. 14.5. Oklahoma State's weird.
You would. You guys go out to lunch without me.
Yeah, why don't you guys ever call me? 14.5. Gundy's won 6 of his last 7 against Texas. Their last matchup as Texas goes to the SEC. I think Gundy's going to take that personally for whatever reason he wants to take that personally for. He's been slighted in some way, I'm sure. So give me Oklahoma State. I feel like because they barely beat BYU in overtime last week, so I feel like it's a little skewed just from recency bias there, but they can hang with Texas.
Yeah, especially since they were big favorites against BYU too. All right, Maction. Also at noon, we got Miami, Ohio versus Toledo. Toledo is minus 7.5. That's actually moved to 8.5. 8.5 and 8 in some books as well. Maction. Denny, are you riding your Miami, Ohio team?
So I've got two pretty big futures on Miami, Ohio to win the MAC. You know, these two teams played about a month and a half ago, or about a month ago, and Gabbert got hurt in that game. It was back and forth. It was even, and Miami, Ohio lost. I do expect Toledo to win. Miami, Ohio will not be able to throw the ball against them. It's going to be like an ugly running the ball defensive fest, I believe, and Toledo doesn't need to take many chances, so they're going to run the ball a lot. So I see Miami of Ohio losing by less than 7.5. So give me them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on that.
But I got to figure out how I'm going to hedge here because I don't expect them to win. I got 2 big futures, but the money line price, the line's going up, so money line price is getting worse and worse for me to take Toledo to hedge. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, to be honest with you.
I'm also going to ride Miami Ohio here, plus 7.5. Very low scoring, like you said, slowing the game down. Do you think Toledo wins by a field goal?
I concur. I've heard Miami of Ohio so many times on giblets. It's ingrained in my brain to take that team.
It's almost over.
And I think the backup Smith is serviceable. You can keep it within a touchdown.
I like it. All right, Mountain West, 3 p.m. The other name we talk about a lot, or Denny talks about, is UNLV getting 2.5 against Boise State. I think we know who Denny is taking. Denny?
My backup NBA school
is
Running Rebs. UNLV.
Running Rebs. All right, 2.5. Fitz is taking Boise State because you had them in one of your best bets, unless you were going to change it.
Boise State, out of spite, I will bet against Duke's Running Rebs.
All right, so I got to be the tiebreaker here. I'm going to go UNLV plus 2.5 here at 3 p.m. in the Mountain West. Boise they're hit or miss. And I think they're going to miss this weekend. UNLV plus 2.5, my pick. SEC Championship, 4 p.m. Number 1, Georgia. Number 8, Bama. Here it is. The headliner plus 5.5 is Bama. Fitz, let's go to you. Who you taking?
What do you think the line would be if Auburn would have held on?
Ooh. Maybe 7? I don't know. That's too much. I think this is a pretty good line.
I think
It was 4.5 for a while.
I think it's a little short. I think Georgia. I like Georgia.
I like Georgia too. I'm trying to figure out your answer. It's probably still me at 6.5 instead of 5.5. Is that what you're?
I feel like I don't know. Maybe it would have been the same, but to me, it's like what Alabama had this great ending, right? Awesome for us to watch, but like they should have lost to Auburn. So,
Yeah,
like,
I
wasn't impressed by Alabama.
I should have saved Gray last week, and I kept my mouth shut because maybe he's right because he was long on Alabama. So if Hugh Freeze lost the week before to New Mexico State, he was basically game plan 2 weeks in a row for Alabama, and he does play Alabama tight. So to me, it's not a huge strike against Alabama. To me, they're about the same as I thought they were. I still think Georgia's going to win by more than 5.5. So let's take it. Let's go.
Yeah, Georgia's rolling. Let's go. Let's move on. All in agreement. Georgia minus 5.5. American Championship. SMU versus number 22 Tulane. Also at 4 p.m. Hope we have a couple TVs, boys. Minus 3.5 is Tulane. The Green Wave. Who we going with, Fitz?
SMU.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm 0-2 this year betting against Tulane, but I'm doing it again because it's 3 in the hook. Give me the hook. Give me the point. 3.5.
Let's go.
Their line's dropping.
Let's go. SMU, baby. Yeah, SMU is one of my favorite plays of the week at plus 3.5. Taking SMU. The Sun Belt. We got Appalachian State versus Troy.
We all like Troy here. Huh? That's what the spreadsheet says. Or that's what the show notes say.
A couple consensus picks here this week.
Yeah, we do. At 4 p.m., Troy is minus 6. And I do like Troy. We all in agreement.
Yes.
Denny got really fired up. Now he's just looking at his computer. I don't know what he's thinking.
Now I'm ready for the next question. What's the next question?
Pretty easy. All right, Troy minus 6. Look at us. All these that we're in agreement with. Parlay it. Party parlay. ACC, number 14, Louisville versus number 4, Florida State. It's sad that Louisville lost last week because I think this would have been better for Florida State if Louisville won. But Florida State is still minus 2.5. This is an 8 p.m. under the lights game. Denny, who are you rolling with? This should be an interesting one.
I'm not going to bet this game because I don't really know or care, but I'm taking Louisville because I want them to win. Because A, I don't want to see Florida State in the playoffs. B, I don't want them to go undefeated and not get in because I feel sorry for them. I don't want that emotion. So give me Louisville just to win and just knock them out. We're done with it.
All right. I like it. I'm kind of the same boat as you. I do think Louisville wins this game. So I'm going to take Louisville plus 2.5. Fitz.
I am not going to take that. I'm going to take this. I think Knowles is obviously playing for their season here. I think they are going to get it done. Louisville lost to Kentucky last week. Florida had that was a tough draw for the backup to come in. Playing Florida in the swamp at night, rivalry game as his first true start. So I think the Knowles get it done. The sharp money is all over Louisville for what it's worth. So I might be eating my words here.
Florida also had their backup play. Florida State struggled against. Well, I mean, Florida State's defense is pretty good, but we'll see. Louisville has a good defense against a backup quarterback. Should be a good game. Just a good game. Just a good ball game out there. All right, Big Ten. We end the Big Ten where Michigan, number 2, is 24-point favorites against number 16 Iowa at 8 p.m. I am rolling Michigan. I don't want to bet against Michigan. Now, Michigan could be looking forward to better and bigger things. And they win, like Duke said, maybe 20-0 and don't cover. So I can see that, but I'm going to take Michigan. Who you guys taking?
Denny, I'm looking something up real quick. You go ahead.
So I do see a scenario where Michigan wins by like 37-0. Like I see that scenario, but so don't at me if I'm wrong here because I don't really care about this game. But I'm taking, if I had to pick, I'll take Iowa in the points and they just muddy it up and it's just like 21-3, something like that. So just give me the points. I don't really care about this game.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up. I saw something earlier in the week. I'm just trying to pull up to see if it was still true. They had the team total for Iowa for the first
0.5 for the first half.
1 point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they score or they don't.
Yeah.
It's like it didn't matter if it's 0.5 or 2.5 or because they score or they don't. So they probably won't.
But 0.5 is way better for the graphic.
It's like a a goal like over under or a touchdown over under interception over under.
That's why
It's 0.5.
So with that, I mean, I think obviously Michigan is going to cruise here, and this is Harbaugh back on the sidelines, so he's going to make a statement.
He might, but they don't need style points. They win, they're in.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you?
He
Could
could
possibly just run the ball a lot.
He really-
runs,
yeah.
they shut it down 21.
They do shut it down.
You don't see a scenario where they
Oh no,
win 540 and
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
I mean, what if Alabama wins? They're the number one. I mean, is there a chance where
seeding,
if
like-
Georgia wins, they're going to stay number one? There's no scenario where Michigan jumps them.
There's
Probably not.
what if Georgia wins?
You might, I'm agreeing as I talk this out. Like, you might be right that Michigan can't get to number one without a Bama win.
They play.
I also
Georgia
think-
plays first, so they'll know.
I also think if Georgia loses and Michigan wins, it doesn't matter
Right.
what Bama. Michigan's going to be the number one team.
If Georgia wins by a field goal and Michigan wins by 50,
No chance.
Georgia's still number
Still
one.
number one.
Small chance. A chance, but
Yeah.
small chance. Very
I'm not
small.
arguing. I'm just
But hey, this is what we do. I like this conversation. Last game, we got to bet an Armed Forces game. Besides betting the under in the Army Navy
obvious.
game, take the under. We got Army 2.5-point favorites against Navy. Who we picking?
Shout out my cousin CJ Reed went to West Point.
Hey, CJ.
Go Army.
Damn, I got to switch my pick now.
Shout out Shane Gillis, who went to Army. Give me Army. They're better.
They are better, but I'm just going to go against y'all because I want to. Navy plus 2.5. Take the under. All right. So that brings us to our lock of the week, our best bet, our biggest unit. Duke, big win with Missouri -9 last week.
Wait, who has the biggest unit here? Did you say our biggest unit? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
We are a unit.
What? Was you trying to make a joke?
Perhaps. Go ahead. Fine.
Duke,
Cut that.
Cut that. Yeah, let's cut that. Duke 5-8 overall. Good win with Missouri though. Fitz also had that Missouri game. Took the over 54.5.
10-2.
10-2 on the year.
So you should be up a lot.
That's why I was laughing.
Did I win this one too?
You did win this 10-2.
Another one.
I'm 8-4-1. Taking a Bama loss moves me 8-4-1. Duke, let's get a win, buddy.
I am.
Big unit.
I'm fading Fitz here. I'm taking UNLV all day. Bet the house.
But you have that -2.5.
Should be plus 2.
Plus 2.5.
Plus 2.5.
Okay, just checking. All right, over King.
Yep.
What are we going with?
Back to the well. Georgia, Bama over 54.5. It's gonna be a track meet out there.
Love it. All right, I love SMU. Not betting the spread though. SMU last 5 games. How many points they've been putting up last 5 weeks? 59 points 1 week. 38, 45, 36, 69. They put up numbers. Tulane SMU over 47. Let's get it done. All right. You ready to go and see our preseason picks? How we did? Just real quick.
Sure.
Real quick. Fitz, I don't even think you were on our preview show.
I wasn't.
What a shame.
Shame.
Look at this guy
Were you busy that day?
I was in the lab.
in the
Scouring
lab,
the
just
data.
ready for cover 5 and taking our money. All right. Denny. Miami, Ohio. Over 6.5 wins.
Ship it.
Ship it. Plus 360 to win the division.
Ship it.
Plus 800 to win the MAC.
We'll see. Probably
We'll
not.
see. We'll see. Central Michigan. Over 5.5 wins.
They lost the last 2 games, including, I forget the next last game is a game they should have won. They blew it.
They only had 5 wins. Western Kentucky over 8.5 wins.
Loser.
Only had 7. For me, and then the teams that you have making the playoffs that were not Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Bama. You remember?
I said Texas and Penn State.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State obviously not. Texas still has a chance.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't take any over-unders for teams where I took Michael Penix Jr., 16-1 to win the Heisman, which he's not going to win the Heisman, but he's probably
Still a good
He's probably around there right now.
You should have cashed that ticket out
Yeah,
week
you're right.
eight. Yeah.
You're right. Bo Nick's clearly the favorite. Jaden Daniels also up there. Also have Washington to win it all at 50-1. They're now 18-1. I don't feel strongly about that.
Can you cash that one out?
Yeah, I should look.
Yeah.
I should look.
Or buy an Oregon ticket.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll talk to you guys. Other futures, we had Duke had Georgia to win their half of the SEC minus 500.
Yeah. So bet $5 to win $1 extra.
But he won. Mississippi State under 5.5 wins. Cash it.
Ship it.
Michigan State under 5.5 wins.
Oh, God. Ship it.
Ship it. Maryland over 7.5 wins. Had 7. I had them too. Texas to make the title game in the Big 12. Minus 240. But that's a winner. And then he had LSU to win it all, Ole Miss to win it all, and Texas. Texas? Who knows? He had Texas at 22-1. Who knows? I have a funny story about my over wins. Maryland over 7 wins was a loss. Wisconsin over 8.5 wins. Loss. Colorado. Remember what I said? I thought I had under 4.5, and they had 4. They had like 4 wins in the first 5 weeks.
Yep.
But I bet under 3.5. I clearly thought it was 4.5, but 3.5. Damn it. But I have Georgia plus 225 to win it all, and Washington at 50-1 to win it all. I also had USC. They had a terrible season. And that's kind of what our preview was. But we also picked, this is a cool one, the 4 seeds. Do you remember your top 4?
I think I would have said back then Georgia, Texas, Penn State, and then I don't know who's my 4th one.
You had LSU in there.
With those 3? Those are my 4? I put LSU in those 3.
Did you say Texas?
Yeah, Texas, Penn State.
So you had Georgia 1,
yeah.
Texas 2,
Yeah.
LSU 3, who lost the first week to Florida State.
Yep.
Penn State.
Yeah.
So you're going to probably get 1 out of 4.
Yeah, that was pretty bold of me to fade Michigan and Ohio State. That's pretty bold.
So-
in retrospect.
For me, I had 1 Georgia, 2 Michigan, 3 Texas, 4 Washington, which is pretty good.
Let's go.
I mean, you could if Washington beats Oregon, obviously there'll be 3. But if Florida State loses, Texas I could have the top 4.
You could
maybe.
do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you must have a lot of money.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm up. Probably about 3 or 4 units this year in college. I've done very well in college football this year.
So
Because of Giblets, listen to y'all. It's been a pleasure.
it's been a pleasure, boys.
It's been a pleasure. All right. Well, that is going to do it. Any last thoughts, comments, fellas?
I just love that 12, 13 weeks of gambling nonstop, 6 to 10 games and up 3 to 4 units is a successful season.
Listen, man, you buck the units and you book a winner, man.
Yeah.
Especially if your units are $1 million. He's up $3 or $4 million for the year.
That's right.
I would just say that you can go to Market Movers and save 20% after a free 14-day trial. Visit marketmoversapp.com and use the promo code NOOFFSEASON because there is no off season.
There is not.
Hey, if you're plus, it's a win.
That's true.
Well, that's all for today. Good luck with your bets. Thanks to our listeners for riding with Grable. So be sure to tune in next time and leave us a 5-star review, especially on Spotify and iTunes, wherever you listen.
Oh, Lord.
We out.
Sleep, I don't see sheep, see dollar signs. $100 got him beat the eyes for the 100th time at a money line. Brock Purdy was irrelevant, now I'm at the front like a cutting line. G5 to the power 5, Grable's on fire like it's summertime. I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window?